Nice and neat.
And we are live. What's going on out there? YouTube family, Twitter family, and Facebook family. We are about to give you guys a overview of our experience at South by Southwest. Here I have my man Lucas. What's going on, Lucas?
What's going on?
Just another day, man.
How's your evening going so far, sir? You see how loud and boisterous that was? That was awesome.
It's going all right, man.
That's a great thing.
It's going all right. What's going on, Jarrell? Got Jarrell Alexandria here in the building. What's up, man?
Yo, what's going on? Busy days. Very busy.
Always.
Days. That was nowhere near the level of excitement that I projected.
Yeah.
Y'all are starting off already. So you guys, we're gonna kind of just break it down for you guys. Our experience with using the app. We did get the luxury of being able to check this out as press, and so everything was completely at our disposal. Even some things we didn't even know we could have gotten really early.
Yeah.
That kind of hurt us and helped us all at the same time because we did have an allotted amount of time between March the 16th until technically my birthday, March the 20th. After March 20th ended, that midnight, everything was kind of cut off. There are some things that are still available right now readily, which is like the shorts. Some of the things on the channels are also available, and some things that are on demand as far as like the keynotes and the conferences are available as well. But we're going to break down our experiences of it. So Lucas, first on you, what was your experience with South by Southwest and also using of the app? Did you use it through your computer primarily?
I used it two ways. I used it through my computer sometime, and then I also used it through Chromecast. So I had two different experiences with it. Either way, I love the app. I love the way it moved. I love the way it worked. For film festivals that we've done, well, let's say in the last 4 months, 4 or 5 months. Let's say 4 or 5 months. So I'm gonna go back to Middleburg into what's the one we just did? Sundance.
Yeah.
To South by Southwest. I would say this app worked better than anyone else's so far. I love the setup of it.
Yeah.
I love the way that you could set your schedule, and even after setting your schedule, you still had access to certain movies. It allowed you to know, like, if movies were being close to being sold out, which I did not like at Sundance. You didn't get those type of warnings when things were about to sell out. Here, they made sure you got a warning, like, hey, this is about to sell out. You may want to book a reservation to it. And I like the point that you didn't have to watch it immediately. That reservation was open from Tuesday until Sunday at midnight. As long as you watched in that time frame, you were able to see whatever you reserved. I think that was an amazingly well set up. And if any upcoming film festivals, this is now the standard to me on how you do festivals, film festivals moving forward, or content festivals, not just say film, because South by Southwest has everything humanly possible. Yeah. So content festivals moving forward, this is almost the perfect way to do it.
So in your personal perspective, you didn't feel overwhelmed, even though there was a plethora.
Oh, no. I was extremely overwhelmed.
Okay. I just wanted, because that's what I felt. So I just wanted to...
I was so overwhelmed, boys. Let me tell you something. I feel like I may have done better from an endurance standpoint, but no, I was overwhelmed. What the fuck?
I signed up mistakenly. I signed up for 30 movies and 10 shorts. 30 movies and 10 shorts. I got nowhere near that number. It just threw me off. It is so much content here, which is a great thing. That's a great thing that you have a festival and you're pumping out so much content. And I feel I missed some things that I really wanted to see, but then I caught some gems on things that were not on my list initially that I end up putting on my list just because also, and I don't want to skip this part, every film you click on has a live discussion.
Yep.
So when you click on it and you see the live discussion, that's one of the things I missed and that makes absolutely no sense because I literally do a podcast on Power.
It's still available though. You can go back to it.
It ain't the same. It ain't the same. It's being live and having to be able to discuss. But they have a live discussion tab for the films where you can talk to either the filmmaker or talk with other people who've seen the film. It kind of allows you to judge if something is worth watching. Because like if everyone says it's trash, you're not gonna want to watch it. But I think that was a masterful thing put together. Even when they opened up the registry for film critics and picking films, I got into a chat with other critics about which films we were looking forward to seeing, and the way the ideas bounced around with each other on what you should watch, what you should look out for, things that you really may like, things that may surprise you. I thoroughly enjoyed this app. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, and I definitely want to add to that, because a lot of the things that I kind of clicked on, some of the people actually reached back out to me because I was like, okay, I'm interested in that. And they were like, okay, maybe it might be the director, maybe it might be the producer, it might have been the artist. But even just looking at this diagram right here, it shows the attendees. If these people were available to be conversed with, you could, depending on the circumstance, which is freaking amazing. Now, this isn't necessarily for everybody, but from a press standpoint, this is amazing. Like, I mean, you really can network. You really can kind of paint the fold of whatever way you want your orchestrated festival or conference to actually be. But I will say personally, if it wasn't 3 of us doing this, there's no way. Next year, if we do this again, I may add 3 more people, because it's just way too much. It's way too much to kind of try to tackle, because one of the things that I tried to do, I tried to go to like the keynotes, the conferences, like talking about some of the stuff from the technical standpoint, or like the gaming awards. I wanted to go and be a part of that and kind of see what that was in the fold. But at the same time doing the film festival, and so it was like some things I was missing. None of us, I think, covered or overlapped as much as I thought we would, which is crazy. There was
our tastes are so different.
See, I was never worried about the overlapping. Our tastes are so radically different. Not a problem.
Like when we get into later on, like possibly what's our favorite thing we saw, I'm pretty sure none of them will match. Not a chance it will match each other.
Not a chance.
I mean, go ahead, Jarrell. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I feel like, I don't know why, but particularly with this, like, I can tell what I chose. You can tell it's so tailored to my personality, and I'm sure it's the same with y'all with whatever you chose. So, yeah, ours will be very different.
I mean, Jarrell, you were freaking out with the VR stuff. I knew then. I said, okay,
my God.
There will be no.
Oh my God. Those 360 movies.
You want to talk on those real quick?
Well, I first want to just talk about my experience with South by Southwest, something I have to say, but listen, but just my experience was this was my first film festival ever, for the record, and even though it was totally virtual, it's hard to think of an experience that would be better. I mean, the ease of use was completely off the charts. I mean, everything was so well organized. There's immediacy. If you were looking for something specific, like they really let you know plainly, like how long you have to watch this. Like it really was fantastic. It was kind of overwhelming because it's sort of like being given like a buffet of food. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat all this, right? And you eat like a plate, and you're done. You're done for the day.
That's definitely how I felt about the movies. I got like maybe a plate, and I was like, damn it, I'm full.
But no, my experience was like off the charts. Like, it's almost hard to imagine a film festival, at least from a virtual standpoint, being better. You know? It's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't disagree with you there at all. Like, coming off of Sundance, this was so refreshing. Sundance had so many issues, man. Like, Sundance threw me off because if you watch the film, and I did this a couple of films at Sundance, which we paid for Sundance.
Every single film we looked at, we paid for.
And
because y'all are crazy.
If you, let's say, watch the movie like me, and I watch it off late night after purchasing the film, if I fell asleep, I could never view that movie again. I would have to buy it again to watch it. And I say, oh, this is horrible. As it pertains to the South by Southwest, man, like I was pausing some movies on Wednesday and went back to it on Friday to finish it. Like that had me hooked, in all honesty.
Mhm.
Yeah. And really quick, Jarrell, how did you watch all the things that you watched? I know you talked, you did some of the VR. The VR has its own like VR room you had to kind of do a pre-sign up for. Because you didn't have Oculus Rift and you're familiar with VR, how did you watch that versus, how did you watch some of the film stuff? I'm just curious.
So anything that required a head rig, I did not watch. Even though there was some weird thing where you can watch said footage without the headset, but you're basically just watching something pre-recorded, which I did not do. But no, everything I experienced was basically the 360 VR movies. I literally, without exaggeration, watched all of them. And it was a cross between my laptop and a lot of times just me in a blacked out room in my apartment with my my smartphone, because again it's a 360 films, and some of them I literally only watched on my computer just because the VR store crashed a few times, which is totally understandable. I'm not gonna hold it against them; it's totally understandable. Virtual cinema is a totally new thing, but no, whether watching through my smartphone or through my computer, that shit was bananas. That was the main ways I watched the VR stuff.
Okay. And then the film stuff, you watched it through your computer as well. Did you look at anything through like a Chromecast or anything like that? You just watched it straight on your computer?
No, just through my computer.
Oh man, I needed to be in bed for some things, and I needed the big sound system because I wanted to freak myself out. And I said that we're going to Chromecast this one because, like, just to name a movie, not saying if the movie is bad or good, but a review is up of the movie if you want to check it out. Like Broadcast Signal Intrusion. I think I said that right. Yeah, like the score is perfect 80s horror. I mean, perfect. So when I heard it, I said, okay, nope, no computer here. I said, I'm going to wait till I get home to watch this. And man, the way that the synthesizers and everything, it was so dope just to hear that on the best sound system humanly possible.
That's crazy. That's freaking crazy. So the way I handled it, you guys, is I did it through two different ways. So sometimes I was watching some of the films through my phone. Like if I was on the go, most of the last week I was on the go all times. And so when I kind of had it, I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll just pull up my schedule. I was able to pull up my schedule, start the movie as soon as I clicked it without any kind of issue. And it was fine. But then I was kind of like, all right, I do want kind of a surround sound situation. I do want to see stuff on the big screen. And so if you have like a Apple TV box, I think maybe Roku, same thing. There's an actually app. It was like South by Southwest online application. I logged in, got in, and it was a little bit better organized for me because it kind of was like, okay, these are your movies. These are all the shorts, but it also had all the different channels. Like it was maybe like 4 or 5 different channels that were going and broadcasting live through sequence on a schedule basis. And like sometimes I would just kind of go into those because I was like, okay, this is the conference I wanted to see. I'd watch it as it was go, or I'd go and look at it from on-demand standpoint. But then all the movies, like it was almost like if you're looking at Netflix, for instance, like it has it all kind of like right here. You start one like, oh, okay, oh, I want to check mark that. So I'd favorite. And it was just, I was getting spoiled. Like, honestly, I couldn't go back to watching it like I did on the computer the same because I was like, man, this is all right here at my fingertips. I can watch everything and I can have it in my own little store right there. So for me, that was my experience, but I did enjoy it. Now, I do think that I wish that the South by Southwest gaming awards, I think that they kind of missed the mark for me with that because it was kind of like I was there for the awards, but I felt like I didn't feel any different than anybody looking at it from the outside. It wasn't like any kind of inclusion or change where it's like I have privy to some of the studios or talking with them. And maybe it might have just been a little bit different. Maybe I should have, pushed to that or focused on that a little bit earlier. And maybe I would have had a little bit more opportunities to kind of consult with certain things. But outside of that, I couldn't. The other thing I felt like was kind of a negative. I know that Sundance, am I correct, Lucas, that most of the people that did press procurement for Sundance, they were given like Oculus Rift to do the things that Jarrell was able to do. Like they were just sent them with the packages and everything. And so I was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe we'll get the same thing because South by Southwest effectively is a lot bigger, especially when it comes to the technological side and all the different keynotes. But we didn't. So I kind of was like, I tasked Jarrell to do it, but I kind of was like, I was thinking that he was going to, be able to have all the things there for them. And I ended up talking to, and I mean, I'm not going to bring up the conversation, but I talked to a couple of different people on the forums, and they were like, okay, we're just not supplying it. Unfortunately, thank you for the feedback. We'll assess that next year. So I think that they just were like, well, I mean, we ain't got time to give you all.
Look, it's the difference in budget from South by Southwest, which is a huge festival now, versus Sundance, which is almost the festival. Come on, Sundance gave away everything. I'm almost 100% sure they gave away Rolexes. Like Sundance was just giving you everything humanly possible in a swag bag. South by Southwest, like, look, we are this little digital festival. We will pump. That's one thing that they made up with, different than Sundance. Sundance didn't have this much content.
Dog, the content was so fire. I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
like,
I mean, there's a couple issues that I had, but dog, for the most part, it was fire.
Even though for stuff I didn't like, I appreciated it was there and readily available
to you. Yeah.
Like, geez, man, that is so dope. Like, because going into Sundance, I assumed a lot of the stuff would be more independent films, and Sundance has clearly been taken over by major Hollywood studios, because like Sundance showed Judas and the Black Messiah, like stuff like that. South by Southwest was like, no, we're going to give you all these independent films. Some of them have been brought up just before the festival started or the day after it premiered. And like, I love that, because it's a chance I won't get to see some of these films ever again.
Yeah.
And I like the point that I can see them and then champion a filmmaker off of a great project, the same way we did the Fantastic Fest with like Boy Behind the Door.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that type of thing. Like that's super dope to me. Just to see this independent filmmakers or just anyone attempt to make a project and it be amazing, and you get to champion that project that they made.
Dude, there's some of these movies. I hope like some of the contact information for some of these filmmakers' films is still there, because some of these films were so good. I literally need to track down the filmmaker just to let them know, just to let a nigga know. I literally love your film. It's not even a joke, for real.
Yeah. Another thing from an editor's standpoint, like a lot of the things I was trying to get in contact with some of the sponsors. Like I was kind of like, okay, Showtime is here, TikTok is here, HBO Max is here. Maybe they might have some kind of production stuff that we don't know, or some big announcements. So I was trying to stay on top of it. I think that it was a learning experience. I mean, I'll say this. Just as much as these two gentlemen are saying like they were overwhelmed, I was kind of just like, yeah, I'm in over my head. Like, I mean, I really needed to focus a different way. But I think after, in hindsight, understanding how much you could communicate with these different companies and different individuals, like the Dolby.io, they had some kind of like big announcement.
If it's anybody
with this thing for the car,
if it's anybody we needed to communicate with, it's Adobe.
And they announced it at South by Southwest. And like, I was kind of like, bruh, if I would have known, if I would have been on it, I would have been pumping and communicating with, the reps, because the actual reps that made the big announcement were there and they were available for me to communicate with. And I just didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Heck, I could have been talking to Adobe on our behalf, because Adobe is something that we legitimately work to use.
Not just hear me say, if it's one people we needed to have a discussion with, it is Adobe. Listen, your licenses are extremely expensive.
Help me. Help me. Like, no joke. I mean, and technically they did leave, the contact information is still there. I think they even allowed me to be able to test out Adobe Fresco. I just didn't have the time to do it. I mean, so as far as
we already have it, so screw your test here, people. We have it already. I know. So the bill for it.
And so, I mean, I just say all that to say that having all this stuff readily at your fingertips from a press standpoint is really amazing. Because
a quick question, Sam. Quick question, because something else amazingly happened with HBO Max. They gave us access to a show that I did not check out.
Yeah,
anybody check out this show?
So I requested it. So what I did was I contacted them directly. I said, well, we want to, I mean, you can see the kind of message over there. I'm gonna move that out of the way. I talked to them and I said, you know, what we're doing, what we're trying to do, some of the shows we actually go. And I asked them if y'all have anything that are going to be available, please let us know, because we love to kind of do interviews and consult and stuff like that. And then, you know, we ended up getting like all these emails and stuff like that. But yeah, they debuted them here, but then they gave us access just after the fact.
Made for Love is the name of it.
Yep. And so I think, the matter of fact, there's another show that also happened with. I'm gonna try to pull it up because we haven't had our discussion on it yet, but it is Amazon's Them. So that was a highlight for me. That was easily the best episodic piece that I had seen at South by Southwest. I'm very excited to talk about it. But they made contact with me on like a little IM. They were like, okay, you be prepared. There's going to be some things, some emails that going to be coming through. And they just gave us the first 4 episodes. It's not available even on our current press, you know. Access. I'm like, I don't know what we just got access to, but I mean, again, that is something that is really dope. That's a real huge blessing to me because I never thought that was going to be something that we were going to have access to like that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some of the things that were highlights really quick.
Well, let Jarrell say hell yeah twice. So we're going to let Jarrell go.
All right, on the highlights?
Yeah, I'm going to pull it up. Whatever your highlight is, just let me know what it is.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good idea. I just want to say up front, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I like Jedi Mike's comment. That is hilarious there.
What did he say?
Adobe has been playing with my wallet for the last 4 years. Help me, ninja. Yes. Listen,
that's what pirating is for. That's what pirating is for.
You just don't understand
our
current frustration with Adobe.
Hey, Jarrell, you can't even do that no more. I'm going to say that. That's all I'm going to say. Like the way that they have it now, it's all subscription based. It's no installs. It's just
let's just say it's
everything.
It is a phone bill per month that we pay for that license right now. That is crazy. But again, it's a great software. Let's plug in Adobe commercial for free software. It is a great product that everyone should have. I mean, it's great for students. It's great for elderly. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but it's clearly great for them also. It's great for Christians. Whatever we have to say to get this license for free.
Oh my
wow.
Okay. Wow.
So that's Lucas's plug for Adobe. You guys heard it first.
Hey.
If we get a sponsorship, it's all from Lucas.
Adobe is for everyone. Every religion, race, creed, everything. Everyone would love Adobe. I'm telling you.
But so I mean, I guess you can try. I would not try to keep up with me as I'm like going off here. I will try to keep this reined in because I can literally just flat out gush about this for like an hour, but I'll try to keep this reined in. But so the stuff that were highlights for me, let me see here. So there was this 360 VR film called Space Explorers. The ISS experience. Sweet Jesus. It was only 30 minutes, 38 minutes, but dog, that bad boy was a 9 out of 10. What are you talking about? That was ridiculous. There was another VR film, Odyssey 1.4.9 or some shit. Listen, I'm not even entirely sure what the fuck happened, but it's like some tribute to 2001 Space Odyssey.
Was that one good? I really wanted to see that one. Really wanted to see that one.
Because I told you I like blacked myself out in like a room because it was really bright out that morning, and that scared the hell out of me. The hell. Let me see here. Oh yeah, the best VR, the best short film that I saw. It doesn't really matter. Best short I saw was called 4 Feet High VR. This was another 9 out of 10. The best. Never mind the 360. This was the best short that I saw, period. 4 Feet High VR. This was so good. This was a 9 out of 10. The main character.
You know that won the best award.
Oh, really?
It won. Yeah, it won.
Oh, really?
For best short.
I'm just staring at my list when I speak, but that's amazing.
What?
Yeah,
what is that? What is? Never mind. Continue.
Yeah, no.
I know what those look like in the background.
But you guys, people listening, you have to check out that short. It is so good. The main character, this handicapped woman with blue hair, she was so adorable. Oh my goodness, so good. So good.
Okay, can you explain the VR aspect of this? Like, I mean, well, explain it a little bit so people can know.
Oh my goodness!
To do with the flaccid things that are in the background. Because if that came at you in VR, I would be terrified.
So again, the whole thing was in 360 VR, but the best way I can explain it is that it just felt like you were there, literally, with her, maybe sitting or standing like 5-6 feet away at all times.
That sounds dope.
It was so wild. Her story was so enduring. Like it was one of those things where, because it starts with like a sex education class or something like that. Clearly. And at first I was like, I don't know about all this, fam. But the more I watched, it's like the more it just warmed my heart. That is the best way I can put it to you. But before because I gush about that movie, so good. But let me see here. Highlights. Oh yeah, my God in heaven. So Sasquatch, the premiere episode of Sasquatch, which is coming to Hulu's documentary series, found damn near maybe the best thing that I saw, as crazy as that sounds. That was so good. I was legitimately mad that there wasn't episode 2. I watched 2 episodes of Confronting a Serial Killer, which I gave both episodes a 10 out of 10.
How was that? That's something I love. I love true crime stories. I love all of that. That's what
oh my God, I do not. Number one, let me just say.
Oh man, that is my bag. That's if anything is my bag, it is true crime stories. I absolutely love them.
Okay, well you're in for a treat because let me tell you something. Those first 2 episodes were so fucking horrifying. I wasn't even sure what to rate them at first.
Wait, is that the one that I started, Jarrell? Is that the one that I started and I said no? Is that the one?
I think so. Yep. I think so.
I got in like a few minutes, Lucas, and I said no. I can't mess up my day to day. I'm not.
That's one of the ones I was mad that I just didn't have the time to get into. Because again, I'd have been hooked. I listened to Dateline NBC true crime stories as a podcast, and I listen to it at least 3 times a day.
Oh wow!
Like I am utterly obsessed with anything true crime based.
How did you miss that? That was some of the most terrifying bullshit I think I've ever seen.
It was the movies, man. It was so
it
many
was
movies.
A lot of movies. It was
so many movies. That's what got me. It was so many movies.
I'm with you, but man.
And Jarrell, I mean, let me know about Sasquatch because we probably could just be able to ask them and request for it. So just let me know. Like, I'm serious. I mean, again, I hadn't seen it. You got to talk to me. I don't know, bro.
Bro, you don't understand. I genuinely think Sasquatch, there's one last, maybe 2 other things I want to mention, but Sasquatch, I'm telling you, as wild as this, because I'm a huge skeptic of Bigfoot, huge, okay? That's just usually whack to me. But I'm telling you that, I think Mark Duplass was one of the producers, him and his brother or something. That show, for whatever reason, for once, like it wasn't cheesy, it wasn't cringy, it wasn't like, yeah, sure. Like for the first time, I was like, holy shit, my nigga, maybe something is out in them goddamn woods. Holy shit. So yeah, that was such a huge highlight. There was a movie called, I only got 2 more here. There's another movie called, Gaia was good. I really liked Gaia. That was fun. But we're talking highlights. So,
because we clearly disagree all the way about Gaia.
But hey, it was something that
But it's beautifully shot. It was definitely beautifully shot.
Oh my
and
God.
Man, the opening shots of Gaia is amazing.
The cinematography.
And the point that it's named after the black woman from Captain Planet was even better than me.
No, even the score, even the score,
the score was good too.
Was so good. But yeah, don't let Lucas get you. Gaia with some heat. Okay, it's got a list of flaws on it, but no, that was a great time.
Yeah, nice list of flaws too. Nice.
I guess we can also mention this one just because I gave it. Well, no. I guess we should keep it the highlights. I guess the last thing I'll mention is, this might be a. If Sasquatch is the best thing I saw, this might be at number 2 or 3. I really love that VR short. Oh shit, with the blue hair chick. But no, this one right here is called Woodlands Dark and History of Folk Horror. This was a documentary that was, believe it or not, it's 3 hours. But fam, let me tell you something. That might be the only flaw is 3 hours because that is a 10 out of 10. that was maybe the most definitive go-to for folk horror that you could plausibly need. Watching it is like watching a horror film, or it's like bringing in the Halloween season like simultaneously. Like,
wow,
I really, really, really dug that documentary.
Can you
say
explain what that is about?
I want to say it was
this
picked
about?
up. Also, I want to say it was picked up by someone.
Ooh, was it?
I think it got distribution from someone.
Oh, you got it pulled up on the screen? Yeah, that's one where literally that one, Sasquatch and something else, I was like, nah, I'm going to have to reach out to the producers and the filmmakers because they killed it. But yeah, no, so that kind of discusses the history of folk horror in cinema from from the early 1960s to present, and just its influence, what it means, what are the highlights of the genre. So like if you've heard of Midsummer from Ari Aster, you immediately have an idea, or The Wicker Man, Sleepy Hollow, cultish sort of films like that. Yeah, again, watching it is literally like watching a horror film unto itself. It's actually pretty creepy. But yeah, there's just something about the pacing where I was like, oh no, this is gonna probably be a staple around the house when it's October for sure.
So yeah, I think this is one that you were talking you were talking about, Lucas, and you were like, Jarrell, you really about to watch that whole? Is that the same one?
Well, yeah, this is the one I said. Yeah. Well, when I said, and I will repeat, well, it makes sense for Jarrell to watch this because he clearly likes long movies a lot, and he had just watched an extremely long movie, so to watch another extremely long movie would perfectly make sense for him to do.
That's funny.
I can't.
But no, Lucas, I actually genuinely think, despite the intimidating runtime, I almost dare I say this is a must-watch for horror fans.
It has amazing. Again, I am a horror fan, so this is something I'm eventually going to check out. It has, I think it's 100 on Rotten Tomato and 80 something on Metacritic right now.
Oh, like, that makes
it has really good reviews.
Yeah,
there you go, Jarrell. You can contact her.
Oh, that's her.
Make that move. I mean, it's available. It's available for us to make contact.
Yeah, because the last people we made contact with about a great horror movie, Jarrell completely shitted on their movie.
I am so sorry.
Hey, he was cool with it though.
He was cool with it. He said, "Man, this is the first negative review. This is cool."
He was like,
"It won't be the last. It won't be the last."
He was so cool with it, but yeah, nah. So all right, so Lucas, you're up.
Great. I am going to keep my list a lot shorter than Jarrell. Even though Jarrell only named 4 projects, which is crazy. That he really liked.
That were top highlights.
Yeah, I think he only named 4, maybe 5.
Yeah. Well, we're sticking to highlights. You know what we love.
Yeah. So one of them I'm gonna bring up is called "I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking." It's a coming of age comedy about a woman who husband, I'm assuming, dies of COVID, and her tricking her daughter to think that they're just camping as they're homeless, and her pursuit to get enough money for a down payment for her new place in a day. It is as funny of a comedy, a dramatic comedy that I've seen in a while. It was touching. It was heartbreaking. It did everything humanly possible. It's called "I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking," Sam, because I'm seeing.
I was like, I typed it and it's still not there. I was like, what in the world is wrong with the thing? I think it's got abbreviation or something.
There you go. Yep.
So
that's how it is written. And the current review for it is currently up on JVS's social media platforms if you want to check it out there.
You might have to check on different days, Sam, to bring it up. But,
I can't even remember the day it played on, but it was something that I found and I absolutely loved it. It's awesome to see Black independent filmmakers. The star of the film wrote the film, and I want to say she directed the film too. And it's Kelly Callie. I can't believe I remembered her name. And the point I remembered your name means your film is awesome.
Listen, if it's a good film, let me tell you something.
There you go. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. Which is 92. That makes perfectly good sense. Wow. It is a tour de force performance by someone who's just great in this movie. it will have you feeling everything humanly possible that she goes through with her daughter as she's just trying to shield her from the harsh realities that hit. And it's so good. And you don't see comedies, to me, especially starring Black people.
Oh, that was the screen.
That's how it is. That's how they presented the film to you. As the whole film plays, because she has no car, that she's skating around trying to get things done to get enough money for her and her daughter to have a place. And at times it breaks your heart. At times it makes you laugh out loud. It is touching. It is a great film. So there's that one. I'll do one more film and then a short that I think is amazing. The other film for me, and it's weird that I'm talking about a lot of COVID-related films, which a lot of COVID-related films are really good here. The other one is called Recovery. Now, this film is a story about two sisters who, one, they're bringing in a new year before COVID, and they talk about everything they're going to do. And they thank God for Tom Hanks's health and all this stuff that clearly got ruined when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then they get a letter from their grandmother's nursing home that a COVID outbreak has happened and they need to do something and get her out of there immediately.
Oh my God.
This is one of the funniest movies I've seen in the last 5 years.
Whoa.
It reminded me of like Bridesmaids. It reminded me of any road trip-esque movie starring these two amazing women who one wrote it and the other one directed it. I just cannot remember. Then Whitney Call, and I can't remember the other one. I think it was Miranda Stevenson, something of that nature. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, these Mallory Everton and
Mallory Everton. There you go, Mallory Everton. Like, these two are amazing in this movie, top to bottom amazing. They have a third who plays their other sister.
Yo, that shot is hilarious.
Hey, she was pumping gas and needed something to cover her hands with, because this is supposed to be the early part of the pandemic when everybody thought no matter what, if I go outside, I'm going to immediately catch COVID no matter what. And they had a sister who went on cruise just as COVID hit because she needed to get away.
Oh, no.
Get a break from everything.
Oh,
when I say it's funny, this movie had me dying laughing. There's even white dancing. And I know people out there, because I said it during my review, I know it sounds racist. It's not racist. White people, there you go, white dancing. You know what I mean by white dancing, where you don't catch remotely close to the beat. Like, the beat is here and your dancing is there. Like, it's so funny, but it's poignant, and it's a moment of just release that's needed, because it's funny, but it keeps you engaged the entire time. And I never thought going into this festival that I signed up for mostly horror movies, that it would be two comedies that would catch my attention the most.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's funny you say that,
because you know I fought you all on this. I said I'm signing up for every horror movie.
Same. No, I did too. But no, it's funny you say that, because like, oddly enough, like, the documentaries, for whatever reason, those really resonated with me, which I would have never had anticipated. So that's interesting.
Exactly. Now, my top thing that I saw is a short, which again is something that I had rejected until a certain editor said something about seeing shorts, and I said, I'm not watching no goddamn short. Why would I watch a short? I'm not doing that. And then I ended up signing up for all of these shorts, and one was called, which I just posted a review today for, and gave it a 10 out of 10, which I give absolutely nothing a 10 out of 10.
He never does.
I give nothing a 10 out of 10. And the name of this short was The Thing That Ate the Birds. It is 12 minutes long.
Okay.
Within that 12 minutes, you get a
finally found something.
Yeah, exactly. So you gotta be careful, because it will play the whole thing.
Yeah, be careful.
Because it is a short.
Pause it.
Yeah, but
playing already.
Within 12 minutes, you get a full encompassing story that is touching at one moment, extremely thrilling at one moment, and horror-inducing at the next, as it stars this guy who is clearly on a game reserve and things are eating his birds. He doesn't know what it is. It turns out it's a little monster
Oh
It's
shit!
eating his birds. His gamekeeper tells him, like, don't kill the monster. Don't kill the monster.
Wait, what?
He kills the little monster, and
Mm-hmm.
then all hell breaks loose because he does that. And man, I was so engaged in this movie. Wow. I said, dude, a short isn't so. This is the primary focus for short, is to engage you the way this one did with me. But man, the moment it was over, I said, I wonder if I could watch a full length of this film, but I don't think it could match the short in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Within 12 minutes, I saw possibly some of the best horror setup I've seen in the last 2 years. Wow. And that doesn't happen. Wow. Like, the director is a great, it's a directing team. Yep. Dan and Sophie. It's a directing team here. They nailed this movie. Absolutely nailed this movie. Like, this is something I'm expecting to see when we normally get around Halloween, as Jarrell said about the other long documentary, horror documentary. It was good. Where you get a bunch of shorts and you put it all together as like one film. So I can imagine something like this, something like Don't Peek with Sam Like, which I really did like also, which amazingly came out last year, Sam. That's the crazy part. And and it's already signed to be made into a feature film. But that Don't Peek is yes, you should have. I don't know why you and Jarrell don't do that. I remember pushing you last time about that. But I know. Like this is something that can be with a collection of other great short films and become an amazing full-length feature. But this The Thing the Birds Ate is great. On so many levels is great. And I don't ever give things. I don't believe in giving things 10 out of 10.
He don't.
Which is silly as fuck, but go ahead.
Well, because a 10 out of 10 means no matter what.
If you say perfect, I'm gonna smack you twice.
No, a 10 out of 10 to me means classic, not perfect. Because you could get a classic that's not a perfect film. Yeah. But a 10 out of 10 means no matter when I watch it, it will always be great.
Now that I agree with.
And that's a rarity to me. But this is a 12-minute short that I've seen 6 times.
Holy shit.
Yes.
I'm about to put this. Can I watch this now?
Yes, it's still available to us until the 30th. I
Just watch. Hey, Jarrell, when I say the build is amazing and the payoff, that's the key part here. Yeah. It gives you a payoff. In 12 minutes, it builds. It gives you some intrigue on what's actually going on with the story, and it gives you a great payoff. That's rare that you get. It's a great thing to watch.
No, I got you right now. I'm looking this up right now.
So real quick, Lucas, did you watch Moogie?
I didn't. I did not watch this.
That one won the award for best short, and so I was curious.
Well, I need to watch one more short to go with one more feature to drop with my review. So I'll check it out. Because the other short I watched was Along with Don't Peek, which I did like.
I thought that was so dope. I like that.
Joanne's Dead, which is another short I already dropped a review for, which I also thought was really good. Amazingly, the shorts are really, really good here. And then I watched one called Don't Puff, which is like if Team America made a commercial about not doing marijuana.
I've seen that.
That's the best way to put it. If Team America did a PSA about not doing marijuana and did it with gore and blood, the Don't Puff one would be it. It is funny. It is absolutely funny. And excuse my language that I'm about to use here, because it has the best line I've heard in a movie in a while. As one of the passengers is trying to get another passenger to do marijuana, and she hands her a bong, and she tells her to bong it up, bitch. And that line right there, I said, this is crazy. I've never seen two puppets tell one each other to bong it up, bitch. Like that is amazing, Joe.
Hell yeah.
Now there are other films I saw, but we're not talking about the worst films. Some of them I've already dropped reviews for, so you can. And Gaia, which is one of Jarrell's best, is literally on my list. It's one of the worst things.
You're being cruel. There's so much.
Even though, again, I agree with you. The soundtrack is good. You're
being so cruel. Cinematography is good. Sound design, music, good.
Here you go, Jarrell. Where did the story go? That's my problem.
Nowhere that Lucas would like. That's what it went. But no, you're tripping. Gaia was a lot of fun. There was some strong performance. There was one chick, fam. I don't want to get too deep with the guy.
The woman,
the main chick. Let me tell you something. There's something special about the main chick. She was fine. She was acting her ass off.
Hey, Sam,
I said, dog.
Sam, yeah. I'm gonna say this because see, Jarrell won't say it, and I know why he says that. And you notice he started off with that she fine, right? Because she has like 3 topless scenes in this movie. And them jokes,
stop it.
Hey, them jokes look good.
No, you brought them up. No, you brought them. No, you brought them.
No. It doesn't make up for the movie. It didn't make up that the shit made no sense.
But no, in a real way, her performance was so good. Legitimately, I said something along the lines of like, goddamn, her ass, she needs to be like shoved in DC and Marvel. She needs to literally, my nigga. She can literally. No. Listen to me. She can literally play Tomb Raider. What they had Alicia Vikander or whatever playing Tomb Raider. This woman can fucking play Tomb Raider.
You know why she can play Tomb Raider? You know why she
did great.
That's a lie. You know why she can play Tomb Raider. You know why.
No, you brought a minute.
My whole thing was very simple with it. It's just that
it's just a psychedelic abstract storytelling.
The unnecessariness of switching languages in and out. I said, like, man, because some of the best conversation was when they were switching languages in and out, and I'm like, man, that's unnecessary. And it's, in all honesty, and it's hard for me to say it. They could have leaned a little bit harder into the natural horror elements of it, instead of giving you the dialogue of it, and that completely throws it off. Because it's like, why did you didn't even have to do that?
The only thing that hurt it for me is just that I think I can't even say that because I really enjoyed the ending actually. There's just some VF, just for me, just the overall production, not the cinematography, not the sound design. I'm just talking about like the VFX, the makeup, the special effects. That was the only thing where I was like, And there was a couple there's some nitpicky things, but that was the main thing. I don't want to get into like spoilers, but there's literally a creature design where I was like, I don't want to say plagiarism, but I mean,
and I want to say this has already been picked up for distribution by Neon.
Oh, Gaia?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
I think I announced it. It was Debauchery, I think, or Bleecker Street. It's a new service that Bleecker Street and Neon has come up with for VOD service that picked up Gaia.
No, mark my words. There is something special about whoever the fuck filmed Gaia. Period.
Here's the thing. I think the director did an amazing job
because I think they're in South Africa. Fam, let me tell you something. The cinematography genuinely is like, whoa, great. Whatever they do next. You got my vote. My eyes out for you.
Now again, I'm just not going to talk about you. Talking about she would make the perfect person.
No, she was so good. She was so good.
We know why. Yes. She would make the perfect person for Tomb Raider.
We are not going to go there.
Sam doesn't want us to say it. Sam don't want us to say why.
He's the one.
I know why she would make the perfect person for Tomb Raider.
No.
And she would make an awesome Laura Croft because she does very good action scenes.
Yes.
And she runs in the forest. And those tickle bitties.
No.
Like, we know why. We know why. We ain't gonna lie.
I'm literally trying to move on, but he won't let me.
But Justice League clip that's coming.
That's her.
Yeah. But she did a great job in this movie, though. She did a really good job in this movie.
I know Lucas is being silly, but no, for real, there's potential there. And this dude was so good. That dude was so good. Holy shit, the father.
Yeah,
what in the world?
Again, I had no issue with the performances. I had no issue with the cinematography, but the story was so bad. And I said, oh man, if we only had a better story or more focused, it really could have been good, but it takes you out of it completely at times.
The only other thing I can say about the story that was a weakness is there's a moment where I think sometimes they play into Gaia a little bit too literally.
Yes.
There's a I'm not gonna spoil anything. There's a monologue that the father does. Where I was like,
I'm getting to it.
They're really going for it, but no,
exactly.
Guys,
that's the issue.
Give this a chance. I swear to God, these filmmakers get the green light. We can have a fucking another Hereditary.
The dad had sex with the Force, Jarrell. That's too far.
He had
sex with the Force. He had sex with the Force.
You said the spoiler, not me.
That's not a spoiler. He had sex with a forest. I didn't tell you why he had sex with a forest, but he had sex with a forest.
I'm
He
good.
literally stuck his in the ground.
I'm good. I'm
He
good.
said it. He
I'm
said
good.
it.
I don't need. I don't need.
Come on, man. It looks great. Its score is great. Its performances are really good. But when it came to story and stuff like that, but again, I understood why you would like it because I understand that you love visual things, and this some of those opening shots are some of the best shots I've seen in a minute. I said, Jesus, it immediately grabbed my attention. So I fully get it.
Oh yeah, shout out to them South Africans.
All right, so
no doubt. Shout out to
so have y'all gone through y'all's highlights?
Yep.
I mean, we have nothing else to talk about, Sam. You're just trying to rush us so you can talk about them. That's what it is.
No, it's a couple different things I gotta actually go
this
through.
This is the paid advertisement from Amazon. Please pick up Amazon Prime.
We're not sponsored by Amazon.
I'm about to say, wait a minute. That don't mean we don't need to attempt to be. You know what? I'm going to teach you about sponsorship. We are going to plug Amazon as much as humanly possible because there's no telling what Jeff Bezos will give us.
Look. Listen, a nigga stepped down, so there ain't.
Hey, that don't mean he ain't got power. When have a white man that stepped down and him not still have power?
No. Lucas is being silly. I can't comment on that. Lucas is being very silly though. It's not comparable to Nymphomaniac. I promise.
Oh yeah, it is not. And I love Nymphomaniac. I've seen the edited version. I saw the extended 5.5 hour version of Nymphomaniac.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, right. I mean, hey, I love that movie. I saw 2 parts and then I watched it together. Then I watched the extended cut of it together, and I said, "Geez, like."
You know what? Just so we can let Samuel go.
Because he's getting red in the he is as dark as he is. He's getting red in the face.
No, I did just want to say I would almost
Nymphomaniac. I don't know where this conversation is going to go.
No, I genuinely just want to say this really, really quick because I was just thinking through all the films I saw, and I genuinely believe that that actress probably was maybe one of the main standouts that I saw. It's rare for because you could tell Gaia was low budget, but it's rare to stand out in a low budget film.
That was me with Kelly Callie. And I'm fine. Thanks for asking. She is man, it's a the point is she wrote it, directed, and starred in it, and all elements were good. Yeah, all elements were good. Sure. Like she got some amazing shots to be the director of it, along with some great dialogue and a great, touching, humorous performance. It reminded me of for people who ever watch Insecure, it's that type of vibe where it feels LA, where you don't have any question about where this film is shot at. It's great. It's really great.
Wow.
And I'm rooting for everything that's black. It is what it is.
Speaking for rooting for everything that's black, we go to them.
You see the way the segues work here at the JBS Network?
Yeah, this is how we do, you guys. Go here. So just to give you guys a quick backdrop on it, it takes place in the 1950s. You got like a family, and I think they're in North Carolina. It kind of starts off there, and the backdrop this is not a spoiler. It's just the mom. She's literally in her house. The dad is away. She's just enjoying her baby. And all of a sudden, this Caucasian woman kind of walks up. She's just humming like a song or something like that. She's like, "How are you doing?" And then she's like, "Oh, you got a baby in there?" And she just, the whole vibe just switches because something terrible is coming. And then the show platforms from that point, because from that section, then it goes and it takes them, they're moving to Compton in California. They just decided to go, but in the 1950s. The house that they live in is in a all white neighborhood. There are no black people, period. And so when they get there, the very first thing that happens, they kind of get into the driveway and the realtor's like, "I'm so glad you guys made it. Thank you, so safe." everybody in the neighborhood literally stares at them like they are insane. And from that point, it's kind of like, you're like, all right, this can go one or two ways. Either this family is going to try to make it, or this is going to end very quickly. And I really did get caught off guard by this show, because the performances are actually really amazing. The way that they're spinning the story, it takes from different elements that I know both Jarrell and Lucas loves, from a horror standpoint, as well as from a backdrop standpoint. It was certain elements that I feel personally that Lovecraft didn't have. That I also feel like some other shows that we watched in the past that kind of just like, oh, we're just going to gloss over this and get to this. They don't pander that. They go real on it. And I really appreciated their attention to detail, even in the first episode. So I'm hoping that we get to have an opportunity of going and dissecting this a little bit later on.
All depends. You've tricked me enough in enough shows.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm not even gonna go there.
We just gotta watch the first episode. Once we watch the first episode, once I see the first episode, then we'll judge it from there. Because you made me go through 9 episodes of Lovecraft Country.
Look,
I loved. I don't care what they say. I love.
I don't know how you loved it. I don't know how you loved it.
I have a literal list of reasons.
I don't.
We are not going there.
I don't care anything about your list. It's not a good show. It's not.
We are not going there. So
again, we're rooting for everything that's black. Semi.
Yeah.
Not Lovecraft Country though. Or Jonathan Majors crying.
We technically did though. We supported it. We watched every single episode. We reviewed every single episode.
See, hold up. What you're not going to say is we supported it when you forced me to watch something. That's not support. It's not support.
No one can force you to watch that goddamn thing. But
He forced me. He forced me to watch it. That's what the people in they would have said to the black woman that she moved in. Is that no, you support us in this neighborhood. She's like, no, you're forcing me to be here because of my skin color. No, you made me watch Lovecraft Country. You knew how much I didn't want to watch Lovecraft Country.
He didn't.
I did it. We got the episodes 2 months early, and I told you I didn't want to watch it.
He did. I just knew. I was like, man, I need some help on this, Lucas. I need some help.
Go to your next movie. Go
but the next film, I think that Lucas really appreciated this actress. It's Andrea Rosenborough.
Oh yeah, that's my girl right there.
Yeah,
and she's in the show that I actually want to check out, 000, one of our very own Also Fast reviews, who's a new member of Team JVS, Javier. Jesus, I'm sorry, is going to be, Jorge. I'm sorry, Jorge. He's going to be reviewing it. He's going to be reviewing it very soon, 000. But this one was really weird, and I loved it for so many different reasons, because basically it starts off, you got this mom, and it's her husband, and their son, and they are just kind of like a normal Ireland couple, and then they kind of have some neighbors that kind of come in, but there's something about this little girl that the little girl just gravitates to the mom, and you start to understand that they had a loss in their family. They actually lost their little girl. The little girl died for unforeseen circumstances, but this little girl, it's almost like she embodies everything about every attribute about the little girl they lost. And it's like, what do you deal with that circumstance? You have a whole nother family that had this little girl, had her all their life, and now you maybe have the possible daughter that you lost right here. What do you really do? And they break down all the different mental dissections of that. Every single concept of it, they really go there. And I really loved this movie. To me, it was one of the highlight films that I saw.
Jesus, why is that movie popping up everywhere?
Hey,
as it should.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
I'm not saying nothing.
Leave it alone.
I'm not saying nothing. Not at all.
Probably the final highlight. I mean, I will gloss over some that I thought were really dope. The one R #J, that was really strange. Which is basically a retelling of Romeo and Juliet. It has some really bad performances in it, but then it has some really good performances. The concept was insane because everything that was done in it was all done through social media, whether it was from a phone, whether it's from Instagram stories, whether from Facebook, and it told the narrative from all those different points of view. It was never just a straightforward. The issue is that some people might be taken out of it because they use the Shakespearean terminology and the language. And that kind of was
DiCaprio and Claire Danes.
They went there, but then when you have people texting, they texted normally. So it's kind of like, it was really weird. I love how they shook it up. It was really interesting and immersive, but it suffered from some really bad performances to me. And I think that some people just really wouldn't get taken from it. But I thought there was some really strong performance as well. There's another review that we kind of went over that as well. Some of the shorts that I saw was Puss, which was really freaking funny. This is black girl. She just was in the middle of a pandemic and she was like missing somebody. She needed some companionship and she won't get it. And it was really weird.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this again?
Puss.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait,
And
you saw it, didn't you?
No, I did not. And she needs companionship, and the name of it.
Man, don't go there with me, bro.
Oh, okay.
Don't you go there with me. You know what I'm talking about. I ain't got no time.
I was just trying to understand.
You know,
wait, just to be clear, the title was Puss as in pussy. I'm just being very clear.
Yes,
I'm just being very clear.
And she needs companionship. So I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, no, to be fair, at first I thought he said push. I wasn't sure he said puss.
No. I knew he said puss. And that's why I repeated like, oh.
Y'all, I can't with y'all, bro.
That is a very interesting. Samuel.
Listen, I'm just trying to clarify.
That is a very interesting short for you to watch there, Samuel.
I also saw Squeegee, which is even weirder. Squeegee is this girl that's literally she's the CEO of her company or whatever, and like all of a sudden she just leaves and goes to her office, and she goes to the windowsill where the guy that just squeegees her window, they just have a relationship and you don't know it, and they just have a real intimate moment that I guess they could currently have. And I was like, daggone Squeegee, okay, cool.
And you about me and Jarrell.
Look,
you're not bringing up Nymphomaniac, and here
I didn't say anything. I said nothing.
He said puss.
And then I think I saw the short Don't Peek that I thought it was actually really dope concept because it was with what is the Nintendo Switch? This girl, she's just on her bed playing Nintendo Switch. She's kind of created her own world. I forget the name of the darn game. But either way, all of a sudden she kind of starts clicking certain items in the game, and then light switches on the same exact way. Then she kind of opens up a drawer. The drawer opens up by itself, but then in the game there's this shadow there, and she's just like, what the flip? And I love the concept of it. I kind of was like, I wish this was a little bit longer. I wish they would like really go into it, but it maybe does service better as a short.
I'm about to say, no. Remember, that's the one I told you that they are right now attempting to make it into a feature film.
Really?
Yes.
Do you think it would be better as a show or a film, though?
A film. I don't want to see that long form. Not in a show. But you got to be careful because Come Play was also a short before they made it into that horrible movie that they had last year.
Very true.
So you got to be very careful when you turn a short into a film.
Yeah. There was also another film that I saw called See You Then. That one was really interesting. I actually need to pull that one up because that one caught me off guard because I knew that you guys weren't covering it. See You Then. And the baseline of it is you have what you think is two old friends kind of coming back together and kind of meeting, but you realize, no, these are people that had a relationship. But one of them went through transition and now is transgender. And so it's been 15 years, I believe. And it's kind of like, okay, like they can still maybe be friends, but then it starts to go a lot deeper that no, they have torn each other apart by the scenes. And at the same as that time, they're in this place in their life and this place in their life, but they're still stuck. And neither one of them have kind of moved forward, even though physically one of them has completely moved forward and the other one has a whole family, 2 kids and a husband. So it's along the basis of what happens from that standpoint when you re-find somebody that was an intricate part of your life and what that does to you. Do you move forward? Do you move back? Does it cause you to stumble or does it cause you to progress? And I love the performance in this. I actually kind of was like, I really wish this was kind of like a little series, but they do make a finite ending for it. But it's definitely something to watch for sure. The Spine of Night. This one, you guys that are heavy metal fans, I mean like heavy metal as in like the old animation, like dark.
Of course.
This is
clearly I got lost because I thought you meant like the music.
No. The animated.
So this is a Chinese cartoon.
No, it's animated, but it's not a Chinese cartoon. It is it's probably the goriest thing I think I've seen in the past 3 years, to be quite honest with you. Like,
nice.
It is vicious. And if any of you guys are like, D&D fans or like, I don't know how to say it without spoiling it. But
D&D is what now?
Dungeons and
Dragons?
Yeah. Like that mythological, like otherworldly kind of expansive world. They take a concept and they build off of a world. Basically, you have like this woman that kind of starts off walking up a hill and she's like completely naked. She literally is freezing to death, but she makes it to her point of origin she need to get to this flower. And the flower, you don't know, it has an impact on how the world has been sculpted. And it goes back from where it started all the way up until, and they go through different eras in time, and how this one flower that have been tainted and used by the world and by different means have controlled all walks of life at this point. But it's wars, it's everything you can kind of think of. It's the most ambitious animated film I've seen in years, but it's very gory. Like, and they don't hold anything back. And I kind of was just thrown off by it, but it is a love letter for all you guys that love heavy metal and love like those mythological stories that don't hold back anything. So I think that was probably one of the highlights, that having the opportunity to be able to check it out. I'm not sure if it's got distribution rights or if it's going to like Amazon. But I wouldn't be surprised if it gets picked up somewhere else.
Shout out to Amazon.
Yeah, but that was pretty much my highlights. The one that I didn't like was Ayar. Ayar was
Fam, I literally don't think it's a good idea well, I guess we could talk about what we didn't like. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Not gonna do that. Nope.
The only two things that I genuinely did not like, dog. Holy shit, to say that.
We know what you didn't like. It you told us, and the world loves it, and yet you didn't like it.
I'm not buying the bait, but no, I think there might have been some worse, but we shouldn't go there.
But we need to go back to one of Sam's picks. So, Sam, how good was Puss?
You want me to rate that?
No. I just can't believe you watched it. That's one thing I can't believe you watched.
Look, I told y'all I was gonna look at the stuff that y'all didn't see. Look, I went for it. Okay, I went for it. I will say I regretted looking at Puss, to be quite honest with you, because the way it ended, it ended on some weird stuff, bro. And I ain't talking about some sexual weird stuff. It ended on some stupid weird stuff.
It's so many men will tell you Puss ends in a weird way.
Yeah. Wait. Shut up.
Actually, I think I may actually just at least because technically speaking, there's only two things that genuinely from the bottom of my heart I was like, hell no, God, why? And so because it's nice to include it. I guess we are doing the overview, I suppose. But trust me, I don't need the gush on these two. There's a Demi Lovato documentary that I watched. I'm not gonna comment on that. Don't. But no, that documentary I gave it 1 out of 10. Get it the fuck away from it. Again, this is nothing personal against. I don't know Demi. It's just with the documentary. That's the problem. I know it's hard. Shut up. I'm talking here. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to differentiate. But no, it's just with documentary, and it's garbage. Outside of that, this would technically be the worst film that I saw because what I was just talking about was a documentary. The worst film that I saw, I have to bring up the title just so I don't lapse here. What is it? Sound of Violence. Literally, without exaggeration, gave that film a 2 out of 10. I got, I think, about 55 minutes into it, and I literally just gave up. Apparently, it's supposed to be a horror / thriller, supposedly.
I think so.
how this shit is not a accidental comedy is beyond me. But no, what's even weirder is that the main picture for this film, it was like one of the main pictures you would see when you're like looking through the film festival lineup on the official site. And I was like, oh wow, this looks kind of cool. It's like a bunch of neon colors. Bet, right? No. No. Oh my God, was that so bad? Oh my God. That's all I gotta say.
It's actually got some really good reviews. Because that was one of the reasons why I was
comment on
that. But yeah,
as a big horror fan, oh my God, was that bad? What the fuck were they thinking? Legitimately. Like just to give you a taste, because you said there was some positive reviews, and I can't let that stand. Just to give you a taste, this film, and I'm not exaggerating, this film, a piece of this film is about the main character. She has a form of synesthesia, so she sees sounds when certain sounds happen. Her brain translates them to colors, right? You're probably gonna pull up the image. I was talking about here shortly, but what happens is there's an incident that happens when she was a kid, right? And so when she's that's her, the mixed girl. So when she's older, right there, I know it sounds like I'm making a joke. I'm not, but basically, the crux is whenever she's around violent sounds, like say the sounds of someone getting murdered specifically, right? For whatever reason, it gives her like a orgasmic, really aggressive, like synesthesia, right? So she becomes addicted to like the sounds of violence or sounds of murder. So literally, without exaggeration,
amazing.
Like it, no, it's whack.
Wait, does she? Without spoiling anything, is she tempted to murder people?
Because these sounds are like euphoric to her. You know, they're like they almost seem orgasmic or something. I don't know. No, ignore Lucas. I'm telling you, this is like the worst Dexter episode with Michael C. Hall that you've ever seen. It is so frighteningly low budget. The plagiarism from Saw is so real. Oh my God, the movie is so bad. That's all I gotta say. So bad.
I don't know why I'm actually now intrigued by this movie just from.
I'm about to say his little review.
You telling me
that's because you don't watch horror films like that, my friend, and it is bad.
Yeah, now that's the issue because I agree with you there, Jarrell. If you are a lover of horror films and you see something that concept sounds great, boy, if it ain't executed well, it's the worst thing humanly possible.
I mean, listen, maybe drunk watch it. You know, listen, if you got a cup of tequila, it might be a good ass time. But let me tell you something.
No. Tequila don't fix everything. Trust me. Trust and believe. I'll just name my movie. And it's not because I'm immature that I thought this movie was bad. And I'm not going to say that. And it's I just want to get the name of this movie right because it involves someone in a wheelchair. So I want to make sure I'm right about it. Okay. The name of it was The Best Summer Ever. It is a musical.
Oh, well, I can already immediately see how.
Listen.
Is that Maggie Gyllenhaal?
I don't think that's the right one, Sam. Let me see.
That is Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Oh, no. I think that is it. I can't tell. That's it.
Okay.
With the little paralyzed girl and a black boy.
Okay.
Listen, this is a horrible movie. This movie had no business being ever made. I don't know who made this movie. I don't know why they made this movie. I don't know why they thought I need to see a black. You see what I mean? I don't want to see black people dancing with. I don't want to see. Because I was about to say something. It's going to sound completely racist.
I'm so glad you did. Thank you, Lucas.
I don't want to see. That's so unnecessary. It felt forced. It felt like it was trying to be sweet and then turned extremely offensive. I hated this on so many levels. And this is something I blind watched. I didn't know what it was. I signed up for it. I said, I'm going to watch. You see what I mean? Why? Why, people? Why?
I don't know.
It felt like Save the Last Dance with the black boy trying to teach the white girl how to dance.
Hey, he look like he into it, man. He got his bitten lip and everything. He's busting out that lip hard.
Man, it's so many words. I could see what I mean.
Wait,
son.
What is this about?
Exactly. I hated this movie on so many levels. It felt unnecessary. And that's the bad part about things is when it feels so unnecessary that it becomes offensive.
Oh.
And that's what I felt about this movie.
Whoa.
It was so unnecessary that it became offensive. I did not like this movie on so many levels. And I saw bad movies at this festival. This was the worst thing I've seen. I saw at South by Southwest.
Damn. Shout out the best summer ever.
Yeah. What is your wait, no, you already done your worst films, right? Jarrell?
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was
Jarrell just said Demi Lovato is the worst person
no, I
ever
didn't.
created. Yes, he did.
No, I did not. No, I did
well,
not.
I'm sorry. You said her
No, I did
documentary
not.
was really bad.
Thank you.
I don't want to say Demi.
I ain't saying
I'm
nothing
sorry,
about
Demi.
her.
I'm
I ain't got no issues with her.
Yes, because we stand with you, Demi. We stand with you.
Listen,
Except for your doc. Jarrell, don't stand with your doc.
Yeah, baby, listen. She's so bad. Listen. The doc, fucking, no, I ain't got no issues with you, baby. You understand me? I got no issues with you. You understand me? But no, get that little sad, pandering ass documentary away from me. Get that shit away from me.
You know what? That's how I felt about Best Summer Ever. It was pandering. Really? It was so pandering. And I said, one, you put a black. Is it like Hollywood's new trick to put black people with people in wheelchairs? I understand you want to pander.
What are you talking about?
And like you want to get the most out of people humanly possible. You're like, you know what? Screw having just a minority in something. We are also going to have someone handicapped in it. All it was missing was somebody trans. And I would have said, yep, trifecta. Like you pulling all the tricks out of your hat instead of making an engaging story with these characters. Yeah. That was my issue.
Huh. Yeah. I think that this film right here, Violation, was
I'm so mad I missed it.
You didn't miss anything.
No, I wanted to see it. I don't care. I wanted to see that disturbing.
It's the white eyes right there. That's so scary.
Yeah, look how fucked it looks, right?
I'm gonna say this. This shot right here is only seconds. The rest of the film is nowhere near to quality. Like this shot is what brought me in. I was like, yo, I gotta see this because I know that they're not gonna be able to see it. Yeah. Man, I started this movie and I was like, what the heck is this? Because it starts off with basically you got a sister and she's there on a camping trip with her other sister and her husband or fiance at the time. And, you know, it's evident, you know, they're having all the good time, but maybe this lady, like she's not having a good time with her husband. Because it seems like they're on the rocks or whatever. And then it kind of bleeds into they go on a camping trip outside. She's really buddy with her sister's husband or whatever. And then things take a turn for the worse very quickly. This movie is very explicit. There's a lot of graphic nudity and stuff like that. But the way that it's paced, the way that it's shot, the story is convoluted. The pacing is really bad. And I mean, the cinematography for this shot was dope, but the rest of the film that I saw, it just wasn't hitting off of nothing, man. And I kind of was just really taken aback that I was like, man, I didn't even have time to even finish it completely. There's only like a section of the film that I didn't completely finish. So I'm not going to open my review for it, but it was my least favorite of unfortunately for South by Southwest. There's another film called Ayar, which the concept of it, I'll try to pull it up really quick because I think it's worth talking about because it does something really ambitious and I don't know how you guys would have internalized it. I'll try to describe it. The ratings are really high on it. But basically you got
notice that the ratings are really high on these shit ass films.
I'm about to say because the ratings is amazing on Violation.
But I know, right? It's basically you have this woman that you started off and she's kind of like in this hotel or whatever, and she's got her mask on. She's trying to go and get to her job. She's starting her first day working as a cleaning lady at somebody's brand new home or whatever. And like, she kind of sounds really entitled. It sounds like the person's kind of coming off really offensive to her. So she leaves, go back to her hotel, and she's just hyper paranoid about getting COVID. And so I was kind of like, this is one of the first films I've seen, you know, post like us going through this pandemic or whatever. So I was like, conceptually, I was like, this is really interesting. But then it starts to, you understand that she's got a daughter and she's got a mom that's taking care of the daughter. And she really just wants to celebrate her daughter's birthday. But then they go and they have you go all the different stages of how she got to this point. And it's an engaging story, but what they do is they focus in on every single character's backstory. Like literally it flashes through the entire screen. And then there's moments where the actor starts to go on a monologue about how their testimony of being an actor, their testimony and how they connected to the actual character. And that happens throughout the film. So the narrative is very short, but they add in a whole bunch of other stuff. So I was curious, like, if y'all are kind of like looking at it, all of a sudden it just stopped and the actor just starts to express how they feel about their character or getting the role, how would y'all feel? Because I was like, is this a documentary?
Like
or
breaking
is this a story?
Sure.
Yeah, it's really weird.
It's interesting you mentioned that because I mean that sounds like it might be a bit of a mess, but the short that I love, which one was it? Oh yeah, 4 Feet High. Yeah, one thing I will say about that one, in regards to what you're saying, Sam, said 4 Feet High, it literally simultaneously felt like a fictional movie and like a real life documentary. And like it just felt like a bunch of things like happening all at once. I was just like, wait, what? Like it just totally blew me away. So kind of know what you're talking about.
It's just weird for me because it was like on one hand, the narrative and the way the narrative is actually being filmed is cookie cutter. I was like, I could have seen this on a movie anywhere. But then it's very engaging hearing their backdrop of the evolution of this, how they got to this place, how the actors got here. And I was like, that's really interesting from a documentary standpoint. But then what they do also that I thought that Jarrell, you would really like is that in the hotel, there's a person next door that's coughing and they sound like they're literally dying. And like, she's terrified to go over there because she's already paranoid. But then from the other door that's connected to the other side, there's all of a sudden like weeds start to grow in her hotel. And it's basically personifying the infection is spreading. And like it goes throughout the entire hotel. And then on top of that, people that go and visit her, if they leave, you see those same exact weeds start to move. And so from a conceptual standpoint, it is genius on that level. Like I was like, even though this is like, cookie cutter, but I was like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I really didn't. I didn't rate it really low, but then I was kind of like, I don't know how other people receive it. Because it's really artistically done. But the execution might hit or miss between different people. So I don't know. Yeah. So I'll bring it up so you guys let me know what you think.
Not too bad. And I did realize why I didn't watch Violation. I had to look it up to realize why I didn't watch it. We got access to Violation a month ago.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Violation is a Shudder film. And it's something that I had put off because I said it debuts on Shudder. I don't need to watch it at the film festival. So I will be watching it clearly when it drops on Shudder.
I'll be watching it.
I could have already watched it. So I'm going to definitely watch when it drops on Shudder so I can drop a review for it. I may watch it tonight so I can drop a review on it. Because
you have fun with that. You have fun with that, man.
Yeah,
did you finish the film, Sam, or did you too much?
I didn't review it because I didn't finish it. Like it was like on my birthday, and I was like, do I really want to see this last film?
This ain't something you should have watched.
That's why I did most of my viewing because you know how my week went. Y'all know how my week went. So anyway, that was the last film that I was watching, and I was like, bro, I can't. There's no way for me to finish this. I literally fell asleep, and then I was gonna finish it. And then it was like the cutoff, and so it didn't matter. But I was kind of like, it could get to something, but from what I saw, bro, like,
hey, trust me, all I read was the tagline on someone's review for it, and I said, "Oh yeah, this ain't for Sam." It says rape revenge thriller, phrase toxic masculinity. I said, "Yeah, that ain't something that I could imagine you getting into."
Yeah, I might have to check this out because Sam was saying something about the serial killer dog. And I was like, "Fuck it, let me take a look at it."
You know what? It's sounding interesting the way that Jarrell Sound of Violence sounded like something I need to watch.
Yeah, I feel
y'all are so tripping.
I'm probably gonna end up watching that actually if it's available.
Yeah, I gotta watch. See, you notice how we say we could watch Jarrell's, we said we could watch Sam. No one said anything about watching my horrible movie other night because no one wanted to watch a Project Pelagic and a black kid dance.
Okay, well, in my defense, like I have a hard time with musicals. So as soon as you said musical, I was like, nope, you just lost me. You just lost me.
I don't know what level of musical I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting that. at all.
Dog, Sound of Violence was so bad that literally, and we're talking about like what, the first 30 seconds? When the first 30 seconds were unspewing, you hear certain someone narrating. I literally said out loud, like, my God, does this sound bad? Hopefully it improves.
Yeah, I think this is the first time director too. Like this is his very first time directing. I think he did a short in 2018. What's his name? Alex Neuer. That's his name.
Hey, well, I've seen some horrible movies from Shudder that I thoroughly enjoyed. So there's no telling. It's a chance that I may like.
The only way I can see you liking Sound of Violence is that I'm convinced that it was meant to be a comedy. I'm convinced. I swear.
Oh, so yeah, I'll watch something like that and take it as a comedy.
Because I was like, dog, if this were a comedy, I would still hate it. But at least like,
so
I can maybe recommend it.
The Conductor. That was the initial.
Like
Conductor.
I literally saw a film. I think it may have been on Shudder called The Cleansing Hour. That was supposed to be a horror movie. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. And I flipped. I said, nope, we're gonna rate this as a comedy. I'm not rating this as a horror because it's nothing scary, but it's extremely funny. So like again, I'll change it even though it goes against completely what maybe the makers thought it would be. But sometimes you get pleasantly surprised by things of that nature.
Sometimes. There's definitely a scene at the beginning that I can't describe where I was like, I mean, maybe? Question mark? But no, just oof. And they totally ripped off a plagiarized Saw, by the way. Totally. What the fuck was all that shit? Anyhow.
I mean,
anyways.
Hey, you could have watched Broadcast Signal Intrusion instead.
Oh, I wish I did, bro.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
No?
No.
Yeah, remember, Lucas hasn't trashed on anything yet.
Yeah. Yes, I have. I did the best summer ever.
I mean, you know you. Lucas.
Oh, my review is up. My review is up already for Broadcast Signal Intrusion. I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Oh, really?
5.5 out of 10.
Oh,
it sounds great. It has the perfect 80 score. It looks amazing. Harry Scrum Jr., who he did Shadow something show he did before that I kind of remembered him from, but that movie is so fucking pointless. It tries to be a film noir, a horror, and a thriller and a mystery all at the same time. And I said, okay, yeah, you're trying to be too much.
Unfortunately, that sounds enticing, but
see what I mean? Say it to me.
Well, you said it had great music, though. I mean, that's
the music is amazing. I mean, perfect 80s horror soundtrack. Perfect 80s horror soundtrack.
Damn.
Down to the like all of that. And you're like, oh shit, like I'm in the 80s. And then you watch the movie and you be like, oh, this is pointless. Pointless. You did lots of building to lead to nothing.
I'm going to have to check on this because I had a fun ass time with guys. So I'm going to have to check on this.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
I understand why you like Guy as much as I understand why Sam like puss. But we're just not going to have
this
discussion.
I never said I liked it. I didn't say
you named it as one of your highlights.
No. I said that was one of the ones I was going to talk about. I didn't say it was a highlight. I just was talking about like I saw some shorts. I did not like.
Puss was a highlight for you.
No, it was not. It was not. I ain't got time for you, Lucas. I know you're playing on words. Anyway, so just to give you guys a final conclusion, we didn't do any coverage for the comedy film festival. Would have liked to, just for time's sake, it just was not something that was plausible. The music film festival, I looked at a couple of music videos. Some of them looked really good and some of them sounded pretty dope. But I hadn't done any coverage for them or reviewed them, and I didn't listen to any of the new artists. And you guys like see any artists that intrigued you? Or
I did attempt to listen to some, and I think I tuned in a couple of maybe the live performances or something of that nature.
Okay.
It was. Well, I'll say this because it wasn't music for me, but I did appreciate the sound quality. If that makes any sense to anyone, like it sounded great coming through my television, which is a good thing because if you're going to do something where it's kind of like a music festival, the key part is always going to be the sound quality of it. Yeah, and if the sound quality matches, and the sound quality matched really well, it just wasn't music for me.
Okay. Yeah, and as far as like some of the technical keynotes, there was some really good highlights, but it wasn't anything like earth-shattering. So that'll be for CES or something else that's coming up soon. But as far as all around experience with our first South by Southwest, it was amazing. I mean, I'm pretty sure for Jarrell, this was your first film festival. So from that perspective, how was this for you as a whole?
With the one exception not being there in person, again, it's hard to imagine like a better experience. Honestly, I mean, this was like because I think even from day one, like I was kind of just flying by the seat of my pants. I'm just being totally honest with you. I kind of just treated it like a bunch of assorted cookies I was carefully choosing between, and no, it genuinely was a blast. Even just talking about some of these films that I loved, like when I say I loved them like intensely. Like that's what kind of threw me off guard. Almost more than like ease of use of the site or anything. I was genuinely taken aback by how great some of these films, especially small films, were. Truly.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's the benefit of like these film festivals. Before they go into distribution, before they are going anywhere, you're kind of like you can rally behind them or see them and impress upon people like, man, this deserves to be somewhere. So I think that's one of the things I always love about any of these festivals in general. But yeah, you guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed our coverage. I think this is it. Y'all got anything else you want to add?
I got 6 more reviews coming out.
Yeah, I have so many reviews. I was like, yeah, Sam. Man. I don't know what y'all doing. I'm releasing these bitches one day at a time. I don't know what y'all doing.
Well, you know, Sam tried to empty out the clip in one day.
Right.
And
right.
I said, oh, this ninja is trying to like beat you over the head with South by Southwest.
Right. I'm like, dog, I might maybe do 2 reviews a day. And like, that's like a maybe.
I'm trying to do 2 reviews a day, but I'm trying to do a feature with a short.
Sure.
Day.
I got you.
Because that just it works better along with the features that I dropped before I tried to do the feature with the short. So you know that's what I'm trying to do, just to finish this out for South by Southwest. Again, I'm not trying to get behind. I'm like literally behind on Sundance reviews that I haven't put out yet.
Lucas, you know the reason why I shotgunned that joint. I emptied that full clip. I might not have hit the target, but it's on the board.
It's hard to say because you know it's so many things that are coming out. Like not only am I behind on Sundance reviews, I'm behind on Shudder reviews. I'm behind a good 7 movies on Shudder that I need to do the reviews for to get out. Like it's not easy. It's not easy.
Are you doing oneers like reviews done in one take? Are you doing any oneers?
Everything I do is one take.
Everything he does is one take.
But here's the thing: I do one take, and then I'll do that one take 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. My nigga, let me tell you something. Maybe cut the duration in half because that sounds like a lot.
Oh no, dude! Oh, my reviews never go over 10 minutes under no circumstance.
Nope.
Damn, and you backed up like that?
Hey, it's a lot. If I tell you the amount of content he's doing, it's the amount of movies, the amount of. I am currently reviewing 4 television shows.
Yep.
Along with doing movies, along with doing discussions. It is not. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, there's a reason why 2 new members of Team JVS are here. I can tell you that.
Because Sam was not going to kill me this year.
No, I literally, from now on, I'm flying by the seat of my pants from now on. That was a blast, son. A blast.
Hey, film festivals are amazing. Like, once you get into them and you experience it, it can be really great.
Yeah.
Really, really great, depending on the content of the film festival. And that's what made this one so great is the way they gave you the content. I absolutely loved it. Especially, again, from an independent standpoint.
Yeah.
Like majors, yes. Some of the majors do really good jobs. Middleburg did a really good job for the major stuff, but for independent stuff and to make up the point that we were supposed to go to South by Southwest last year.
Yep.
Just as the pandemic went to overdrive.
Yep.
Which still makes me mad because I was really looking forward to meeting some people down in South by Southwest.
But again, as crazy as it sounds, even though it was virtual, it was. I mean, I would love to have seen some of this in person, but damn,
exactly.
It's hard to think. Not necessarily viewing, but it's just hard to think of a better experience from
Yes.
I guess like a interface point of view, like it was just such easy use. Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my only thing is I wish they would have gave us like 2 more days, maybe.
Right.
As far as the films or anything. I honestly kind of like if they gave me like a good 2 more days, give me 7 days, bro. Just give me 7 days
there you
straight.
go.
Yeah, no, we need more time on the clock.
I promise you, we would have done. I'd have did all 30 movie reviews.
100%.
All 30
between all of us, we would have got that.
Like,
and I would have probably done some music stuff, maybe did a comedy or something. I don't know, but
I'd have talked to more people because clearly I have people still. Again, that's also what I love about the app is that it's still open for use. So people are still communicating and building relationships within that app. Like, I don't know anybody who got through all these movies except for, matter of fact, one person I know. Hey, he's my guy.
Early though.
Hey, Mr. Big Gold Belt, who pumped out Mr. Big Gold Belt, who pumped out 20 people movie reviews from South by Southwest.
Yep.
Listen, I don't know what's with y'all and just drowning niggas in content, but y'all listen. Do you listen? If I did some shit like that, niggas would be like, "Why didn't you ever see the Snyder Cut? Why didn't you ever see the Snyder Cut?" It's like, nigga, I've done talked about.
And that was another thing too. Like this came out the same week. We had to do
Falcon and the Winter
Snyder
Soldier.
Cut. We had to do Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was one night when me and Sam did Falcon Winter Soldier, stayed up, watched Superman and Lois, and then did a review right after from Superman and Lois. And the next day I did a review and watch for Snowfall. So it all ran into each other while I'm still in the middle of trying to watch films at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Bro, I literally there was a day where legitimately there was a day I didn't even watch anything from South by Southwest because I was just burnt out because of the damn Snyder Cut. Shit. Burnt out.
Yeah, it gets like that at times. That's the thing about pacing yourself is to understand, like, hey, if I can't get to everything, that's fine. But as long as I hit key things and I get enough content out, you're good to go.
Yeah, I feel like we all, maybe we didn't see what we wanted, but the ones that we hit, I feel solid.
And the only one I missed was Violation, and because it was a Shudder film, and that's kind of why I skipped it. I'm good to go. So I'll a review for JVS for Shudder from Shudder for Violation will drop on Saturday. There you go. We're gonna get that review out.
Yeah, Jesus, what are we talking about? We're talking about South by Southwest, bro.
Ninja, did you just say I just got you like the person who shows up super late to the party?
Yeah, I hate when they.
Hey, man, how was that? Where the girls at? Like they're gone. They're all
what
gone.
we talking about? What we talking about, Monday? We talking about getting the fuck out of here. What you talking about?
Exactly. My brother, you are late.
Right. Yeah. Definitely go and rewatch this. You get some really. We actually gave you some good brief reviews for stuff that not even posted up yet. So this is worth watch. And any of you guys that are watching this on Twitter, on Facebook, hopefully you guys are getting some good feedback and understanding what South by Southwest is and what it's worth, if you're a critic or if you're trying to be a striving when it comes to editorials. I think this is a really good avenue to go and try to get to. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this overview. We'll be back a bit later on. I think we're going to be doing Superman and Lois, maybe.
Nope. It's 11 o'clock.
So I will be doing a non-spoiler review of Superman and Lois tonight. And me and Lucas will come maybe tomorrow, but tomorrow's going to be crazy because I got to do a certain spoiler review for a certain movie that I've yet to do yet.
I have to do a spoiler review for a certain show that I have to get out the way early. We're going to work it out though. We're going to work it out. Maybe off the late night because you're going to be talking about a certain movie that I am never talking about. And I have stated before, nope, not a chance in hell. So yeah, we'll work it out though. We'll try to get that Superman and Lois out soon.
Yeah, so y'all stay tuned for that. It's a busy schedule, man. We busy men.
And another spoiler discussion. It's another spoiler discussion we still owe too.
Oh, freaking Invincible! Mm-hmm. Hey, look, I'm gonna say this now that the Guy Stern
embargo is lifted.
Embargo's lifted.
It's the best
joint
superhero
is the best
show
superhero show.
Oh, Invincible.
Yeah.
Oh my god! I can't wait. I got special. Let me tell you something. I have a very special review coming for.
we have been hiding.
I've been holding it in,
talking around this for what 2 months now.
Look,
it feels like
I'm gonna change
since
the
we
gas
started. Like
my nigga, if it wasn't for Sam talking, I would have put out spoiler-free
There you
reaction.
hey,
I'm ready, bro, to talk
hey,
about this.
I am so like I've been ready to talk about this show since we watched it. Like,
oh my
it's
god,
absolutely ridiculous.
It was
Falcon and Winter Soldier. Who?
Thank you.
Right. Look, we can all agree to
nothing
that.
close to Invincible, Joe.
When this Friday, look, y'all tune in and make sure when you get done watching, when you see those little credits, keep watching because that's what's going to throw you off. Make sure you watch after the credits, please.
Let me tell you something. Listen, I'm so sick of people putting Falcon Winter Soldier on a pedestal. Invincible needs to be put on a pedestal. My God, that was good.
No, it's true.
Just like that, this became an Amazon commercial. You see why I said it.
Look.
You see why I said it.
Listen, it's worth it. It's worth it because it's the truth. It really is that good. It really is.
All right. First, appreciate it, Jedi Mike 7, man. One of these days, Jedi Mike, you got to come up here, bro. Like, you always in here, bro. We really appreciate the love, man.
We can trash something together because supposedly that's all I do is trash things. I heard that. I synced it. Y'all said all I do is trash stuff. I trash your little crappy shows. That don't mean I trash everything. I literally did a show where I talked positively about most of the content.
I can't wait to see this show.
And Invincible, which is amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about it. So stay tuned for a episode 1 spoiler review. Maybe.
Man, they dropping all 3 episodes. We must do. Aren't they dropping all 3 on Friday?
Maybe.
Or let me rephrase that. Are they dropping 3 episodes on Friday? I said all 3.
Maybe.
Like that.
You might be on something. Maybe.
I don't know. I thought they were only dropping 1 episode.
No, it might be. It might be the first 3. I thought I heard something about that. I thought.
I'm trying to look it up.
Hey, Amazon, since you're here because you listen all the time whenever I buy things and then magically you end up showing me it on my phone, could you please let us know in the comments below if Invincible is dropping all 3 episodes? Thank you.
We greatly appreciate it. You know what? I don't think they should because
they
only 8 episodes total.
Again, but Amazon has a different type of release schedule.
Yeah, it does look like it. On IMDb, it's got like the 26th. Man, like people ain't ready for that, Jen. Look, I'm for real, y'all. Make sure you watch until after the credits every episode, please.
Yeah,
please do not miss. If you leave after the credits, especially the first episode, you're not gonna
care about anything else for this weekend after the show drops and you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Any good recommendations for fantasy or sci-fi shows? No.
Yeah, Invincible, nigga.
We just gave you one. I mean,
we just gave you one.
I don't. Besides Invincible, I don't watch sci-fi shows. Well, do we watch sci-fi shows? No.
I mean, Superman Lois is
technically sci-fi show. Yeah, it definitely is a fantasy.
It shows.
Yeah, more so fantasy. But no, Invincible.
Don't watch that other fantasy sci-fi show for Amazon. That's my recommendation. The boring space one.
Which one?
Sam tried to give me the review.
Oh, you're talking about the Expanse. There's plenty of people that love the Expanse. Look, there's plenty of people that love the Expanse. No. I can't confirm or deny because I only seen past the
let's just put it
first
like
season. So
we got access to Expanse season 5. Someone tricked me into reviewing the first 6 episodes. I did it. Then we got access to the entire season 6, and nobody reviewed it. That should let you know what we thought about the Expanse.
Well, I've never seen the Expanse. So hey,
really, Jedi Mike? For real?
Hit me up whenever I'm in the DMV area.
What? Okay. All right.
We'll talk, bro. Well, you clearly tell you're not from this area because you called it a DMV. No.
Yeah, we'll talk later, man. Anywho, we're gonna go because this did turn into an Amazon
love fest because we love Amazon. We love. Thank you.
Honestly,
for bringing us all these great shows and
Amazon's gonna give us some good content, bro. I can't deny it.
Amazon, we are just preparing for the day that you become our overlords.
They already have. They already have. They already have.
You're already delivering my food. You deliver me content.
That's right.
Soon you'll probably be delivering my medicine if I need it. So, I'm just trying to be nice because, Skynet, aka Amazon. When you take over, I just want to be prepared for it.
Wait, isn't that Michael B. Jordan, Tom Clancy joint gonna be on Amazon?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan
without remorse or something like that?
yeah, but Michael B. Jordan
Yeah.
can't act, and unless he's Alexa, I'm not really interested in him acting.
My nigga, you might as well end this show, my nigga.
I'm out. We're out. I'll talk to y'all later. Yeah, I'm not even. Oh, yeah, go. Daggone, man. Daggone, Jarrell. Everybody go down the description bar below. Check out my man, Jarrell Alexandria. Really quick, man. You want to overview your channel real quick, man? I'm going to put you on the spot. Even though they can't see you.
Just, Jarrell Alexandria, if the link is not there, it should be. I pretty much do what Sam does, but we are two very different men. That's it. We're done.
Jarrell
That's it.
did a live action rendition of Attack on Titan.
This is true.
I have never seen it because I don't watch those type of cartoons.
You never seen Attack on Titan? Wow.
Don't go there. Don't go
I
there.
don't watch Chinese cartoons.
What do you mean?
It's a Chinese cartoon. I don't watch Chinese cartoons.
Did you just refer to Attack on Titan as a Chinese cartoon?
I don't watch those. But Jarrell did a live action rendition where he also plays a shirtless monster on it also. It is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life. It just caught me out the blue. One day I said, what the hell is this? It had figurines in it.
Dog, if you had actually watched Attack on Titan, it would be so much funnier. So much funnier. I'm telling you. So
It's true.
much funnier.
It's true. It's really true. But yeah, so
My man
go follow Jarrell.
A Chinese cartoon.
Please go follow my man Jarrell. All right.
My nigga compared Attack on Titan to Chinese cartoons.
Isn't it a Chinese cartoon?
No. Okay, look, we're gonna go. All right, y'all talk to y'all later. Follow
My
Jarrell.
bad. I thought it was.
Like, subscribe, hit that bell button on both channels, and we'll be back later, y'all. Peace. Oh my